So I began this process of making a teapot by making sure the clay was very well centered on the wheel. Then I proceeded to shaping the clay into the size of teapot I intend to make on the wheel. So if you can watch my hand very well, you see that as I am pulling the teapot, I am pushing it towards the inside so that I can have a small gallery for the lid. So the immediately I was done with that, I proceeded to using the wooden rib tool to give it an indented gallery for the lid where the lid can rest. Then after that, I utilize a broomstick for measuring the inner flange of the gallery for the lid. I utilize a broomstick instead of a caliper. So immediately I was done with that, I proceeded to using the cutter to cut out the teapot from the wheel. Then I proceeded with the spout. So here you can see how thin I choose to make the spout. After I was done with that, I also cut it out. I also utilized this hump of clay to make for the lid and for the spout. So immediately I was done with the spout, I now proceeded to making the lid. But making the lid, since the lid is going to be very small, the smaller the size of the lid, the more work you have to do when making one. So making the lid equals me using or making sure I use the broomstick to measure alongside while I shape the lid for the teapot.